Hi, I'm Jennifer Kirkpatrick. We're here at Rhino Film and Media in St. Petersburg, Florida. I'm here with Doug Hines, working on another project with you. Basically, we're going to talk about his four novels that he's written. They range the spectrum from comedy to tragedy and everything in between. Now, Doug, your first novel, Another Place, this one, basically it's a little more serious. These guys don't know where they are. They're stuck between life and death. I mean, I would love to play either of those roles. Just, it's fascinating.
Well, I'm sure they would be compelling roles. That's a story where everyone is on a journey. Even Dr. Isaac Abraham, the psychiatrist who seems so powerful at first. It's a psychological suspense tale. We encounter the characters when they're in a terrible place, a tragic place, and we leave them when they're in another place. It's a tale of souls restored.
Oh, it's fascinating. I love it. Now, Allison Windsor, the protagonist in this one, only twice, knows exactly where she is.
She does.
Yeah, she's got to confront the criminal mastermind in a conspiracy to, to destroy the American leadership.
At the State of the Union address.
Yeah, this is great. Basically, she has to save herself and everybody else, and I love the way she does it. The martial artist in me is just fascinated and excited.
Well, it is exciting, that part of the story, but she's not a martial artist. She's just a journalist, and she learned that front snap kick that you love so much
I do.
in self-defense class. The real reason she prevails is because she knows right from wrong. Now, there's no question that compared to the first novel, this novel is very concrete. It's in the here and the now, and that's because it's a political thriller, and that's the kind of book that it is. I wrote that one with particular attention to detail because I worked on Capitol Hill for years, and I actually worked on the systems that could possibly become the weapons for the ultimate act of terrorism.
And who better to write a book about that than somebody who knows all about it? I love it. Well, okay, we have Young Again. Now, Young Again. We're going to forget about reality here. We're just going to leave that on the wayside. Now, this is a book that takes place in 2029. Basically you have a genetic potion that restores youth.
Well, it's a satire, it's an allegory, it's a book about today that's set in the year 2029. So in that sense, it's not completely comic relief. There are some themes in there that are timely. In that world, the permanent jobs are disappearing. Mo Kaput is basically a freelancer in a place that's a cross between the old dingy union halls of the First Depression and Craigslist and Monster.com. The key there is that this is really happening, and we have villains like the lovable Dazzlin Blindham, who is stealing America blind.
I love these names you come up with. You're just so good at that. Now, I understand there's always going to be some underlying, serious theme and a satire, of course. But I dare you to tell me there's anything serious about iPods Were from Venus. I mean, look at that cover. And then Winston-O-Salem, come on now.
Well, first of all, the covers, these books are not published yet. I've
Right.
had these bound, and I've made up the covers for the purpose of having people like you read them and comment on the stories and the characters.
Oh, I see. Speaking of characters, now how in the world did you come up with Paris the iPod and Blackie the Blackberry?
Well, they're silly characters that embody traits that we see in American pop culture, and you have to admit that Paris the iPod, a little bit like Paris Hilton.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Now, you got to admit, this book has a little something to do with a guy that's looking for an agent, possibly, to...
It's the story of Winston-O-Salem, and he's trying to write some novels, and he's trying to find an agent, and he looks so hard that he's actually glad to see his novel placed with Harlequin Romance.
I love it. A happy ending.
A happy ending.
Well, as an actress, I know you've got to have a good agent to get the good roles. So, I mean, good luck. I hope that this little conversation we're having is going to help you snag an agent for your novels.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.